The bold sales tactic that I used early in my career was basically flipping a coin on commercials. If my CRM could talk, the first thing it would say to me is thank God for AI note takers, because now we have the perfect relationship. I think one of the biggest turning points in my sales career really was when I started taking transcripts from my Zoom calls and putting them into ChatGPT, building a prompt to create specific notes and follow-ups. My one rule to close deals faster is always at every touch point of the deal to have a mutually agreed upon next step. And there's obviously three reasons why this works so well. Number one, your prospect is clear on what he or she needs to do next. Number two, you are clear on what you need to do next. And number three, and maybe most importantly for all those sales managers out there, there's complete transparency on all stages of deals. Deals are not horizontal, although pipelines quite often are read that way. And having detail on what has to happen next in a deal to push it forward for sure is the best way to speed up deals. The bold sales tactic that I used early in my career was basically flipping a coin on commercials. Now, the reason that I did this is because there was so many other gives and takes in the deal that it came down to a small difference between what the prospect was willing to give and what I wanted to take. So in order to continue the relationship, understanding that it doesn't end when you close a deal, as a Buffalo Bills fan, he was a Miami Dolphins fan, we basically said, okay, if the Bills win, you get my price. If the Dolphins win, we give you your price. Luckily for me, the Bills won and I got the deal. But more importantly, we cemented the bond and the relationship and we continued to grow that post-deal. A common mistake that even experienced sales reps can make is breaking good habits. Good habits can take between 3 weeks and a year to build, and it can be anything from making sure that you've time blocked for your prospecting, to doing your follow-ups first thing in the morning, to making sure you have a zero inbox, and knowing that deals take time and they're all a little bit different. If you don't have your day planned, it can quickly get out of control. And breaking habits, in sales at least, is a lot easier than building them. I'm gonna bust a sales myth. Cold calling is not dead. There are a few reasons that people think it is or like to say it is. And the number one reason is because nobody really likes cold calling. Another reason is there are other methods of outreach that are quote unquote easier, like putting messages, emails, and LinkedIn requests into cadencing or sequencing tools, which really takes the pressure off. And I think the other reason that people don't like cold calling is obviously the fear of rejection. And if you're afraid of rejection and you're in sales, you're in the wrong business. My foolproof cold outreach tactic is to cold call on a Friday. A lot of what we do in sales has to be counterintuitive if you're gonna win. And when you're cold calling people on a Friday, they've been through their week, they're relaxed. The tough part of their calendar is behind them. They're thinking about the weekend, and they're more likely to book a call for the upcoming week than they would if you reach them earlier in the week when they've got that whole week ahead of them. Do not stop until you hear or see the words no. There are so many reasons the deals get stalled. And for me, the biggest one that I'm seeing is always timing. Think about your own life, whether it's work or personal. You don't do stuff unless you have the time to do it. And if you're selling into a company and you are not their number one problem, then you don't have their full attention. And the chances are that they are not going to be as responsive as you would like them to be. Do not give up until they say no. My favorite objection handling technique is mirroring. That is, after a prospect gives you an objection, just use the last few words and repeat them back to them. This is a classic Chris Voss tactic, and the reason it works so well is that the prospect, first of all, understands that you've been listening to them. Secondly, it gives you the chance to say something and then forces you to be quiet. The silence is golden. It can be awkward, but it will give the prospect a chance and the opportunity to continue his thought. And the odds are he's going to say stuff in a different way, and you'll be able to uncover a lot more about what the true objection really is. My pipeline. Specifically, I'm looking at what has the shortest chance to close because I want to take the money. This is my job. But I'm also looking at the early stages of my pipeline. Is it big enough and healthy enough that I have deals that I can push forward to be able to hit my numbers?